Dagda Mór. Hi, and welcome to Jon O'Sullivan, Irish Pagan School. And I am here with Jess The Bear Fitzpatrick from the Fireside Mentor Group that we had and ran recently enough. Fireside was a dedicated section where people decided to come together to talk about Dagda on a monthly basis and to try and encourage and explore the needs of their relationship with him and with their self. Um, so I suppose, Jess, how would you describe your overall experience with the mentor program?
Well, thank you for asking. I think my experience with the program, I will say I didn't even start out with a lot of expectation. I knew it was a brand new program. I knew that I needed to get reconnected to An Dagda because I had not been keeping up with my practice and I had been putting other things ahead of that, and I felt just adrift. And so, honestly, the only expectation I came into was I'm going to be with other Dagda people, and maybe be able to learn a few things that I didn't know. What I got was a fantastic exploration with honestly so many like-minded people, um, and a very natural progression of talking about the things that interest us that come up during our individual spiritual sessions, and it just felt very natural, and that was something that I loved a great deal, so I felt like I got a lot out of it.
Awesome. So it'd be fair to say that you did have a specific goal in mind going into it.
Yeah,
And do you feel that you achieved that goal?
by leaps and bounds. In fact, much more than I bargained for. And I, I won't go into it, but I will say that because of this space and being able to not only get stuff about An Dagda, but his nature and how we work with that has brought me to a place I didn't even realize I was able to get to, um, personally. So yeah, very transformational.
Okay. So given that you had a goal in mind and you feel that you achieved that goal,
Mhm.
um, during the program, did you experience any like challenges or difficulties? Like you said, you've achieved something that you weren't expecting. You're
Mhm.
expecting to try and reconnect, to find your bond to the deck again.
Mhm.
Um, you have achieved that, but along the way, was there anything that you felt was difficult for you to do? Difficult during the process?
It was the the act of accepting the information, having and this is like a personal thing, but doing the physical work for so long and having the spiritual part as more of a byproduct or a side project, um, it felt like there wasn't as much connection to it. And this, again, like sitting with the material, rereading the stories, and parsing it out together and connecting it, and then getting that direct mentorship from someone who you know has made this their life's passion, um, meant that I heard things. I'm like, yes, okay, that is true. This is the right thing for me, and I'm doing the right things. Um, and it opened me up to a whole different level of spirituality, um, and connection with Ondagda.
Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that for you, because I know it was something that you've been working with for quite a while, and the finding that balance between spiritual life and physical life and all the rest of it can be quite tricky.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that, so you're saying that the mentor program helps that along? And do you think
Mhm.
that you would have gotten there or been able to achieve this without having the mentor program?
I don't think so. Um,
Oh,
because of the it was is the direct mentorship. I will say, the fact that you as the mentor was so accessible. And you took so much time with each of us during these sessions to go over, what we've been experiencing in the month. You checked in on us. And we also were able to, chat one-on-one with some challenges that came up when we were discussing it in session. And I don't have anything like that here. I don't have anything other than my own practice here in, California. So having that person who's on that same level and can help me connect those dots in real time, I don't know if I could have gotten out of my head long enough to get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you're saying that the communication was really good and the community aspects of it were really great, and being able to be amongst like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
And like that's really the root cause and the root kind of plan for a lot of this. How do you think, or do you think that anything that you have experienced during the mentor program has significantly changed the practical way in which you engage in your spirituality, and not just the cognitive way of understanding, or not just like the learning or like feeling, like I'm talking, has anything practical for you come out of it?
My daily practice has been strengthened, and that I realized the necessity of it, and the creation of a journey that I can implement to get connected directly to An Dagda also was a huge forward leap in me feeling like I have this access point. For someone who it's very hard to get connected spiritually, or I'm very energy dense sometimes, but even that has changed. I am so much more aware of that work and magic and energy around me now, and I'm actually listening to it, and I'm actually moving towards it. I'm leaning into it, and instead of saying I'm trying, I'm doing, and I'm doing, or I'm not doing, which I think was one of my biggest hurdles, and I didn't realize it until I went through this.
Good. Delighted to hear that, Jess. Thank you very much. So I suppose the last question really is, how likely are you to recommend the Fireside Mentor Program? And if you were to give a piece of advice to anyone else who was interested in the Fireside Mentor Program, what would it be?
I will 100% enthusiastically endorse this amazing mentorship intensive. It is not the Morrigan's intensive, but it is it's more like a gentle slope lean into deep water. And I have been amazed at the depth that I've been able to get to because of this way that you have created, and allowed to just, again, create naturally, based on the people that are in the group and where they're at. So, and I got to go as deep as I wanted to go. So if you are someone who wants to, either if you're intimidated because there's so much bad information, or you've been trying to get into that deeper space, this is, for, I would say, essential. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you very much, Jess. Thank you very much, my friend. I really appreciate your time, and it's been a delight having you as part of the Fireside Mentor Group.
Correct.